also Merv Griffin lives up there. All the pool areas on the right hand side. Merv Griffin, king of the hill. But we're just coming up on the right hand side, Chateau Marmontel. This is in the bungalows in the back. That's where we lost John Belushi in 1982. He was mixing drugs and alcohol and everything together. This is Welcome to West Hollywood. This is a strip place, but actually they strip you in there, you know that? You walk in there, they charge you $7, buy a drink, you gotta buy 2 drinks. So when you buy 2 drinks, they charge you $15. It's hamburgers. Nighttime, a lot of kids come out and sit outside Carney's Express. Thunder Road restaurant is coming up. It got burnt about a month ago on your right hand side. It's owned by Peter Fonda. Your right hand side, Thunder Road House restaurant. It's owned by Peter Fonda. Estimate damage $400,000. Coming up is the Comedy Store. On your right hand side, the Comedy Store. So comedians have performed out here. You see the names written on the wall of the Comedy Store. Take a look. Go ahead. You got more famous for doing that, see? Coming up on your left-hand side, it's called Marabella's restaurant. Right now, Marabella's. This is where Norma Jean used to work as a waitress. Hey, Norm, give me a cup of coffee. You want to come out where the stars come out, you got sparkles. On your right-hand side, you see the picture of the eye on the wall, right up at the top? The windows are sparkles. It's pretty small. We have about 30 tables up there, but it gets busy. Stars come up there. You got to call, make a reservation. Spargos, you go up the street, Horn Avenue. There's a whiskey go-go. Remember the doors? Whiskey. That's where the doors got discovered. Turner's Liquor Shop. That's where John Belushi had his last argument. Won the argument, but lost the battle. Now we're heading straight into Beverly Hills. A little star. Right hand side, lollipop. Which actor? Albert Finney. My name is Albert. He's Albert. So that's the kid, Albert. Remember David Niven? Yes. Coming up, Brick House. On the right hand side is from house of David Niven.
Don't forget to use your towel and you're going to bring in that stove.
This is the property coming up on your right hand side of Chico Foster. He went back to Saudi Arabia. His wife divorced him. It's a big property. 260 rooms. The Beverly Hills Hotel. Howard uses to stay out here all the time. Coming up, the Beverly Hills Hotel. It's the private suites on the back. The red bungalows way in the back on the right hand side. What do you get for private suite? Well, you get a limousine and a chauffeur. You get ready to take you out for a ride. Second house coming up on your left-hand side belongs to Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward. 907 Whittier Drive on your left-hand side, Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward. They have another house back east in Connecticut. This is the Beverly Hills house. It has 5 garage in the back. It has they have their own gas pump in the back. You never go to the gas station, just pump your car in the back. But as we're coming around, the second house on your left-hand side coming up belongs to Mick Jagger, Rolling Stone singer. 135 Carrollwood Drive. Always got the big lips, right? Mick Jagger. You can see the front wall, the way the bushes are, the letters M for Mick. They say his wife Jerry Hall had it set up like that. Because Mick Jagger's a bad boy, ends up in the wrong house all the time. 135 Carrollwood Drive. Mick Jagger's, but these stars, these singers are so rich, they got homes all over the world. So when they're out here performing, they come out here, stay in their own place. They don't have to deal with a hotel. Sonny and Cher on the left-hand side. 4 miles of Sonny and Cher, 141 Carrollwood Drive. I got you, babe. She's still fooling around. He's selling now, Sonny. Coming up on your right-hand side, if you remember Elvis Presley and Priscilla, when they were married, living out at 144 Carrollwood Drive. It's 4 miles of Elvis Presley and Priscilla. The original house in Memphis, Tennessee, Graceland. You kind of look backside of the black gate over there on the right-hand side there, you see the property. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Not trying to be right. 265 Carrollwood Drive on the left-hand side, George Harrison. Look it up on the top. He's got more cameras than CBS, says George. Coming up his driveway, another one. He's got a statue with a child in each hand. 265 Carrollwood Drive, George Harrison's. I got my mind set on. I got a red light. He's got on top of the roof. That's for the alarm system. This must be an artist house or something. Take a look at that. The property's for sale. You see the sale sign out there. Jeez. If you'd like to take a look, the house if you want to buy it. You got to show that you got $50,000 in the bank in order to go in there. Otherwise, everybody will say, I want to buy it and come in there. Here's a former house of Blue Eyes. Frank Sinatra moved to Malibu Beach also. He's coming up on your left-hand side, Mr. Walt Disney's. On your left-hand side, if you take a look at the metal gate fence in the center part, inside of the circles, you see the Mickey Mouse ears. Mr. Walt Disney's. Mickey Mouse got it famous, yeah. On your left-hand side is a former house of Rod Stewart and Rachel Hunter. They used to live at it about a year and a half ago. He moved out and bought a new house up in the hills. She got tired of living in the same house with all his ex-wives there. Some guys have Coming up on your left-hand side, the original hot couple, Jack Lemon's house. Jack Lemon, 1143 Tower Road. On the left-hand side is Jack Lemon's house. He's got the two big chimneys. He's got a black Rolls Royce. He has a black Porsche. If you ever get a map at the farmer's market with the map, they have a picture of the Stars Homes. Just remember Jack Lemon's two big chimneys. 1143 Tower Road. We'll come back down the hill. We'll give you another view on the right here. Right up to Jay Leno. Jay's kind of a tough house to see because his property goes down hills. As we're coming up, the next one on your left-hand side, 1151 Tower Road, will be Jay Leno's. You can kind of make out the chimney right now. See the chimney part? There's the property down here. The house is down at the bottom area. You can see the peanut bushes here. Jay Leno. Come and get your paper, Jay. You can see the house from there. If you ever watch The Tonight Show, he always talks about Charlie Sheen was at Heidi's place. Charlie Sheen was here. That's because his next door neighbor is Heidi, the Madam of Beverly Hills, 1153 Tower Road. The left-hand side, the Madam of Beverly Hills. She's claiming making only $35,000 a year. Live a nice house out here in Beverly Hills. We're gonna go up the hill, turn around. Imagine you live up there and earthquake or something like that happens. Wow. You gotta have a parachute on if you live over there. 1004 Roxbury Drive, Lieutenant Colombo. Can I answer one more question? One more question. My wife, Jack and Benny, coming up on the left-hand side, farmhouse of Jack and Benny. Also coming up on the left-hand side, if you remember Lucille Ball, I Love Lucy's house. 1000 Roxbury Drive. She lived there for 27 years, Lucille Ball. On the left-hand side, I Love Lucy. We lost her in 1988, Lucy. Jimmy Stewart, we just lost him about a month ago. He was 88 years old. He was weighing 118 pounds. He missed his wife, Gloria. She passed away about 2 years ago, so I hope he's up there with her. Mr. Jimmy Stewart, that's a wonderful life. Look at the front yard, you see all these statues. Shane Connery's house, James Bond. On the left-hand side, 10,000 Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
My name is Bond, James Bond. See the two guys painted on the wall back there? The statues, the guy sleeping on a bench. A couple of binoculars. There's a guy fishing. There's a guy diving over him for volleyball or something. There's a jogger, there's a security guard. We'll give you another view on our right-hand side when we come back. Co-pilot in the front seat. The co-pilot, we're going to give this beautiful house. Co-pilot, we're going to show him the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner's. To the Playboy Mansion, you got to speak to the big rock. There's a big speaker inside the left-hand side. There's the gate. There's a big camera on your left-hand side. There's the house right up on the top. The Playboy Mansion. We could make out the roof and the chimney. Hugh Hefner's, the Playboy Mansion. Bottom left-hand side of the Aaron Speller's house. We'll come to stop. There we go, the left-hand side, Aaron Speller's house. The biggest house in Beverly Hills. Stephanie Powers, Robert Wagner. It's going heart to heart. Somebody just went in the driveway and said, gate is open up. You'll see the garage. It's going heart to heart. It's Mr. Tom Jones, the brick house. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Mr. Tom Jones. Makes you feel like you're back home in England, huh? The brick house. This mailbox. It's about big, the size of my room. Mailbox. Cloud. This is the house of Daisy and Ronald Reagan. Left hand side, Daisy and Ronald Reagan's house. In Bel Air.
Are they still living here?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, they still live here. This house was given to them by their friends. If you remember when he was the president, he got shot. This house was given to them during that time, but the address was 666, and Nancy superstitious had to change it 668. They have a nice ranch up in Santa Barbara, about 2 hours up north. I believe that's for sale right now. In front of the driveway, you see the two birds up on top. Farmhouse of Alfred Hitchcock. Good evening. This is Alfred Hitchcock. And right there said Linda Evans.
This
Dynasty.
here.
Dynasty. Linda Evans. Linda Evans. Coming up, the original Tarzan. Coming up on the right-hand side, it's fenced up, got burnt up a little bit. Nobody lives here. It's a former house of Johnny Weissmuller, Tarzan. The amazing thing is the backyard. He lived a life of Tarzan in the back ridge, caves. Look at the pool. The pool is 1/4 mile long. About a year and a half ago, we lost Mr. Gene Kelly. Coming up on the right-hand side, White House. On the right-hand side, 725 Revere Drive. Sing it in the Gene Kelly's.
Gene Kelly.
Mr. Eddie Murphy. He's coming up on the left-hand side is a White House.
White House?
704 Revere Drive. White House
This?
on the left-hand side.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
7.
When he picks up hitchhikers, he brings them out to this house over here. Coming up, Revere Drive. Seen a movie called Pretty Woman.
something over the side, or in the case of an emergency, please reach up side of the tram and everything to your left-hand side as the driver's TV show Emergency, filmed here during the 1970s. It's 23 and 22. Many scenes from The Sting, starring Robert Redford, Paul Newman, and Robert Shaw, was filmed right here. Also, The Incredible Shrinking Woman and The Incredible Hulk. On the driver's side, you'll see these tan bungalows. These tan bungalows is what housed many of the stars years ago when the industry first started, like Lucille Ball. Their changing rooms area that we're approaching, known as our back lot, are facades. Dr. Doolittle. We're currently on San Francisco Street. Now, all of these buildings that you see on both sides of the tram may look real to you. They look like they're made out of brick and stone. In reality, they are foam and rubber and wood, and any other lightweight material that's needed to put them together. Up to my side, we're coming across Brownstone Street. Brownstone Street was where Macaulay Culkin was throwing the bricks down at the two guys trying to chase him in Home Alone 2. Also on that street was the apartment for Abbott and Costello, and many very scenes from The Sting. As we turn this corner, look off to the driver's side, you'll recognize the famous courthouse from Back to the Future, where where the DeLorean had to get up to 88 miles an hour to go back to the future. Now, like I was saying, these facades are used for exterior filming. But sometimes we need to have optimum control over both light and sound. So we can take an entire section of a city, bring it inside of one of our sound stages. Everybody pay attention to the TVs off to the driver's side.
Construction continues east of the tower.
Knock your Rob's legs inside. And you've got to get us out of this somehow. Oh my. Oh, it really is. It's him. It's King Kong. We've just come face to face with King Kong, the world's largest animated creature. It's the only fireproof building on our entire back lot. As you can see, they're getting the road off to my side, dressed for set, dressing a set, getting it prepped for filming. As you can see by changing the props and any items out front, it just depicts a different time. And you might want to just take us up and over around the hill here. I don't think we should go over that. It doesn't look safe. Don't worry, the cushions act as flotation devices. If you see that steeple over there, that was used in the movie with... Oh! The first and second car! Holy cow! It's supposed to. Oh, there it goes. It was used in Quantum Leap, the $6 Million Man, and also the Bionic Woman. Of course, there's Mr. T playing B.A. Baracus in the A-Team. DeLorean car there, that's actually one of 15 cars used for filming the movies Back to the Future. And the very famous Jeep, where Jeff Goldblum is in the back seat as Tyrannosaurus Rex is chasing it through the forest. Played by Rick Moranis and Rosie O'Donnell. Now this, unlike a facade, is called a shell because they can film on all four sides of this building, but they cannot film in the inside. Once again, that may look like stone, but actually it's foam and rubber. It also houses all the horses that we use in our stunt shows. He would film his movies right here on this street, and on both sides was stages set up so that people could come and pay a quarter to watch the filming of the movies there. Now off to my side of the tram, you're going to see the prop graveyard. All those military vehicles we used in MacArthur. The cages were used in Quantum Leap. And speaking of Quantum Leap, we're coming across an F-4 fuselage that was used in one of those shows. Now actually that boat out there in the water can be painted to look like the Allies or the enemies. So they can do filming on both sides using one ship. Well, here at Universal we do it much the same way. Let me give it a shot. Part the waters! Well, I'll be. It's working. Now, Cecil B. DeMille first filmed A Parting of the Waters in a 1923 silent film. I'll take some sea-level pictures. If you get any valuables off the floors, there is the possibility that they are going to get wet. And I understand that we're not done with water quite yet. There's some more lurking around the corner. That brings us right into the movie Spartacus, and right now we're going into Spartacus Square. Off to my side of the tram, speech to the Roman soldiers before they went off into battle. The next set of stairs is where History of the World, Part 1 was filmed. And if you've seen the movie The Shadow with Alec Baldwin, if you look off to my side of the tram, that was his mansion right there. It can also become any embassy we want it to be. We just change the flag. City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal. Or perhaps the most famous is Frankenstein. A soundstage in our lot that's 2 stories, fully functional. On the bottom here we got a subway station. On the top floor, we've got an urban city street scene. Hey, everybody, hang on, hang on. Keep your arms and legs inside. Nothing to worry about, just one of those little California trailers that we get every once in a while. Please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside. We'll get through this. Hey, I'm going to run it off to the driver's side. That truck down. Oh my! What possibly could go next? That's a take. Like a dolphin spin. Hey, fisherman, you might want to get out of the water. Everybody, just keep your arms and legs inside. Oh, float. Maybe we'll get him to take it. Oh, he's taking it. Oh, there goes the fish. Off to my side, the best little whorehouse in Texas. Starring Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. Now, had casting gone a little different, we might have seen Shirley MacLaine and Willie Nelson playing the parts. We only used actually apartments number 1 and 2 for the first movie, Psycho. The rest of the motel was built on for the rest of the Psycho films. Look at that, the Ford Fairlane used for the movies. Moss that's growing on the side of that cement, that's not. It's spray paint with sawdust. Changing the colors that they painted on there, it can become any scene they want. It was used in The Truman Show, a new and upcoming movie from Jim Carrey. Everything looks safe. The only thing that would worry me... Uh-oh. Okay, everybody leaning on one side now?
It's my pleasure to introduce you to a behind-the-scenes look at the greatest fire effects film ever made. Universal Studios and First Alert are very proud to present Backdraft.